Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hard Park 703 channel. So this is sort of like an impromptu video. It's not going to be too long. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the company BrandVizion for hooking me up with some decals. I'll give you a little bit of background. So I was at GTP's yesterday. I feel like I'm there every day. And so I just realized the spoiler that I took off the car had my YouTube handle and my Instagram handle on it, right? So I took it off and then I was like, oh wait, so now where am I going to put it? And so there's not too many spots left where you can put it on the bumper because the car sits so low. So I mean, you're not going to really see it. Let me show you where I wanted to put it, and then let me show you where I'm thinking about putting it, which I think it'll look a lot better. Actually, it'll probably make sense if I show you the decals. All right, first. So yeah, BrandVizion took a picture of my old spoiler with decals already on there, and so they recreated it. So they got obviously the same size and everything like that, and it came out beautiful. They asked me if I wanted to do chrome, like that kind of chrome look to my Instagram, and everyone was always saying it was very difficult to read my name for the Instagram decal. So they suggested I do it in white, and so it comes out a lot clearer in white. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, let me show you what it looked like on the old spoiler, so then that way you can see the difference. Okay, all right, so you see? So that's how I had it on the old, like, trunk lid. Like, I guess you would say the 3LZ Aero, for that matter. And so it was right on the edge, on the driver's side. And so see, like, it was very, right here when I'm filming, obviously, it looks like it's very easy to read. But depending on how the sun was hitting it and everything and stuff, when it would turn like this color right there, like right here, seems a lot easier to read. And then once it turns into like kind of the blue and stuff, everything starts blending together, especially the eat bro part. So yeah, they recreated everything for me to the T. They even were like, I don't think I was able to get it as accurate. I was like, look. Yeah, they were already trying to apologize. I was like, it looks perfect. Okay, I could care less if it's the 100% actual font, as long as it gets the point across, you know. So they're amazing. Okay, so let me show you where I was thinking of putting it originally, and now what the new game plan is. Yes. Okay, grab it lightly. Okay, all right. So they obviously were originally. Oh God, why can't I just hold? I'm sorry, guys. Just 1 second. Okay. All right. So they were originally like basically right here, right? Okay. And so now you got the, sorry, I put a towel here so no one smacks their head on the side of the wing or, you know, bashes into it. But anyways, okay. So now I was thinking, instead of them, here they were easy to read, right? They were kind of like at, you know, when someone's walking by or someone's in the vehicle next to this vehicle, you could easily read it at this height. The only other place I was thinking of putting it was going to be like right here along the reflector, right? So then it's easy to get, you know, like level out and everything, and then it was going to be right here. And so that is too low because there's no way you're going to, the problem is this starts to curve down. So so I figured the place that you can see this super clearly, whether you're on the far side here, behind the vehicle, anywhere, would be dead center, top of the windshield. And I think that would actually probably look better than putting it like, you know, the typical, you know, a lot of people line it up like on the edges, right? And so you could do that, I guess. Since there's a lot of symmetry, I'd rather just try to put it in the middle, so then that way at least everything flows well. So I had to kind of figure out how I was going to do this, or how I was going to approach this. So there was two ways. There was either take the roof off and just stand on the passenger and driver's seat, lift the hatch back up, right? So then it's angled, and then that way, probably super easy, right? Call it my OCD, but I just didn't want to put my feet on the seats. I didn't want to stand on the seats. So, and I just don't feel like going through the trouble of taking the roof off. So I was like, okay, how am I going to measure this? And so, well, each one is 8 inches. And so 4 inches, just dead center. And so here's the other part. All right. So like I was showing, obviously I just took the measurement, or dead center, right? And so then I was like, great, I'm going to have to measure from here to the other side of the windshield and stuff, right? Blah, blah, blah. But then I realized I already got the, you know, center stripes. And so that's centered. So that'll really help me just line this thing up right there, right? So line it up just like that. And then that way I can just lay it down. And then I figure obviously you just put the next one right there, right? Like just do a continuation of the line per se. And so it should relatively look just like that, I guess, right? And so you just have the two names right there. Now that I'm filming it like that, that's pretty flat. So you, like from right here, you probably would have a hard time reading it. Well, that's something. Okay, new game plan then. I probably will put it on the bumper then, because it'll probably be a heck of a lot easier to read if it's just flat in your face as opposed to at a weird angle facing the sky. So, okay, let me think about this for a second. And I totally just blinded myself. I see green right now looking into the camera. All right, so I finally get to try out. I got this from a good friend of mine, so it's the first time I've ever had one of these or whatever. I think this is fantastic. Obviously, like a headband with LEDs, right? So then that way I can see exactly what I'm doing. Wow, I can't even see this thing. Okay, so apparently it's got, I don't even know if I want to look at the camera. Okay, so, right? Okay, so, sorry. All right, I'll pull it away. Right, so one massive one, right? And then you've got, I guess one of the LEDs is on next to it, right? And then you can just have the side LED on, or you can have just the center on, or I guess this is infrared. This is so dope. I don't know, splunking, I guess, or cave diving or something. You need infrared or whatever. I've seen those horror movies where they can see the light, but then when you have red on, they can't see the red. So that might save your life if you ever encounter a real life monster. And then I guess one last mode. There's another button here. I think it's the two sides. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, cool. And the bottom, huh? Oh, okay. All right. That's something. All right. That's the coolest thing ever. And I don't think I was that appreciative when I received it. So I need to call the person back and be like, this is the coolest thing ever. Thank you so much. But not just that. I also got one of these. Check this. So this is for the trouble with the AFE exhaust. I guess AFE sent me this, which is really cool. I really appreciate that from Michael Caine, by the way. So it's full LED and power button, right? Super bright. This thing is super, super bright. So I can set this up on the ground. I can work right now putting these on and then have that right there. So I think this is that. I'm so easily amused. So yeah, these two small little things right here just blew my mind. Right? So I very much do live under a rock. So you guys might be familiar with how amazing LED lights are and stuff like that. But I mean, I still use an old incandescent flashlight with a massive D battery when I'm trying to shine things up in the house and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at. My old school mentality, old man, whatever. Anyways, all right, let me put these on and we'll see what they look like. So it's not about what you look like as long as you get the job done, right? So, but I'll tell you right now, right now, with the handle and everything, I swear this thing feels like a lightsaber in your hand, just zoom, zoom. It's pretty cool. That sounded kind of stupid. I'm sorry. I was trying to recreate the sound. Anyways, please don't think less of it. Pretty cool, that magnetic base, right? So at least this way I can elevate it a little bit more, right? So I can stay there, and I can angle it up. See? So now I can see exactly what I want to do. I could even just use that. I don't even have to use this thing on my head. I think I'm at this point, it's just showing off. However, I do want to see what this thing looks like on top of my head. Oh, that's pretty cool. Everything's super bright. I'm really greasy right now, but that's gross. I just got home from the gym. But anyways, this is dope. This is third echelon, Sam Fisher type stuff. If you guys know Xbox. This is so cool. Okay, that was a pain. Let me show you what I came up with in order to try to line it up. Okay, so I had already lettering there, and so I kind of wanted to follow this line right here, right? But since I decided to zoom out. Okay, since the bumper curves, it's not a flat line, so obviously I always have to. That's my problem when I'm putting decals on, especially when it's not a flat surface. You got to remember that they're going to warp a little bit, right? So I was like, all right, so how can I do this then? So I got myself a level. And so I just put it on above the some of the letters, and then I noticed that I was pretty level. So, and then I zoomed far back, and it was good enough. So that worked. And then right here along the edge, I just try to kind of, have them all kind of like symmetrical. It's not a big deal, but more than anything, I just didn't want these things. I didn't want one flowing this way and then the other one flowing that way, so just as long as they kind of look even. So let me peel this one off. And so I was afraid that you weren't going to be able to read that. You're going to be able to read that just fine, considering it is completely dark in the background, and that's such bright lettering. So that came out really, really nicely. Okay, so you can see that it's right here. It's perfectly spaced out, perfectly even, right? And then as you go this way, it looks like the letters drop down. So see, that's the difficult part with the bumper, that if it's not flat, obviously, you know what I'm saying? So I measured all these right here, the top of these, with the level, and that was level. And obviously you can tell that because this is also here to here, it's level. And then it starts slightly dropping off towards there. So see, like I say, it doesn't bother me as much as it would have in the past, because at least I know my math was right, at least at least at first. So yeah, so that's how they ended up coming out. Looks good. I'm happy with that. That's awesome. I was thinking maybe I could have even gone bigger, but then that's like so much in your face, like, hey, look at me, and I already do enough of that, I guess, with everything else. So. Like, I meant like hard part would be like from top to bottom, it'd be like this big, and then this one would go right underneath it like that big, so it'd kind of be like like 2 blocks. But I think that's just overdoing it. I think this is just nice and subtle. It's right there in the corner, easily identifiable, I guess that's the word. So yeah, came out pretty good, even from a side. You can read that pretty well, right? And so that's pretty much right here on the side of the vehicle. So that's awesome. Yeah, can't believe I just went through all that trouble talking to you guys about like, hey, I don't think it's gonna look good there, I'm gonna put it right there, and I could have literally snipped out all this stuff and just gotten right to the point. So, but you guys know I like to ramble. I mean, see, it really does look like a lightsaber, I'm telling you right now. I mean, the handle looks awesome and everything, and then this thing's like a flat plasma blade. So, like, if I turn it on and I kind of hold it towards the top, kind of looks like it would be like a massive lightsaber, right? Like, zoom, zoom. That's awesome. All right, look, I need more to entertain myself with in life. At least I had a blast doing it, so I just wanted to share that moment with you. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap it up right here. So BrandVizion, they're right next to GTPs. I had no idea. Like, I always pass by them, but I don't know. BrandVizion just sounded like a television company, So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I was telling GTPs, hey, the decal situation or whatever, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to this other shop here in Chantilly. And they were like, why don't you just go to BrandVizion? I was like, what do they do? And he was like, dude, they do wraps and they do decals. This is exactly what they do. And so thanks to Galen, I got in touch with the people that work there. And so I got to meet Don, who's the owner. I've seen him before. I just didn't know that was his company. And then I got to meet Carolyn, the designer, and Miles, who's the installer. And he cuts out all the designs and everything and installs the wraps and whatnot. And so everyone's super wonderful there. Carolyn, Miles, Don, thank you so much for this. You guys got it to me within like 3 hours. So that's awesome. I really wanted those decals on before the weekend because I wanted to enjoy it tomorrow, Saturday, I guess, and then Sunday, especially for the show. And so, if you order from another company and whatnot, and they mail it to you, I mean, it's not gonna make it in time overnighted. I unless it's like $100 overnighted for a small little decal or whatever. So it was just awesome that I got in touch with BrandVizion, and they were able to just literally they took a picture of my decals, the design and everything, and then they just printed them out and gave them right to me. So thank you so much. That's awesome work. And they let me know that they obviously specialize in wraps as well. So maybe one day, I've always thought about a wrap. So I don't know. Maybe one day we might end up going with a wrap with you know, BrandVizion installing it. So anyways, all right, I'm going to wrap up the video there. So if you like the video, go ahead and click that like button, hit subscribe. And yeah, you're going to see another video within another 24 hours. I almost guarantee it.